Welcome back to Higher Level Gaming. Today we are talking about Hong Kong. Actually, we're talking about Blizzcon, but really what this is about, as we all know, is the protest that a pro Hearthstone player made during his acceptance speech of his award at a Hearthstone tournament. This player was from Hong Kong, which, as pretty much most people who pay attention to the news will know, is going through a democratic revolution against the communist state China, which also claims ownership over the territory. Now, this is all old news, but what's new is that Blizzard, who banned the player for speaking up on behalf of Hong Kong, has now made an official apology, and it was an apology that came straight from the president of the company.
Before we start the opening ceremony, I want to say a few words. Blizzard had the opportunity to bring the world together in a tough Hearthstone esports moment about a month ago, and we did not. We moved too quickly in our decision-making, and then, to make matters worse, we were too slow to talk with all of you. When I think about what I'm most unhappy about, there's really two things. The first one is we didn't live up to the high standards that we really set for ourselves.
And as we know, this is so true. It couldn't be truer. There is literally a statue outside of Blizzard's head offices that says every voice matters. There is no way they could have gotten this more wrong.
And the second is we failed in our purpose. And for that, I am sorry, and I accept accountability. So what exactly...
Now, here's a note for pretty much any game company. That is what an apology should sound like. It's not an excuse. It's not, we had ties that we had to uphold. We didn't want to offend anyone on either side. It's not, we're sorry for how you felt about it. It's we accept accountability for exactly what we did, and we're sorry for doing what we did. Now, that's something you will very rarely hear from a game studio. Very rarely are they going to actually come out and say, I'm sorry for what I did. It was wrong. But that's what Blizzard did here, and you have to, at the very least, acknowledge that as a good thing. Everything else this guy says, I don't care what you think about it, but having the balls to go on stage and say, we fucked up, and it was wrong, while China is still listening, right? We gotta give him a pat on the back for that.
So what exactly is our purpose? BlizzCon is demonstrating it even as we speak. We aspire to bring the world together in epic entertainment. And I truly believe in the positive power of video games. When we get it right, we create a common ground where the community comes together to compete, connect, and play, irrespective of the things that divide us. As an example, BlizzCon has people from 59 countries all around the world here at the show today. That is amazing. And that is the positive power of video games.
Interesting that they point out the incredible diversity of the crowd, and we're still barely getting a black woman. Yes, I'm gonna keep complaining that there's no black woman until literally Overwatch 2 launches and we get Sojourn, because at the moment, there's still no black woman in Overwatch. That's what I have to say. That's all I have to remind you of. I don't care what you think. It's still an issue.
To transcend divisions that surround us in so many of our places today. We will do better going forward. But our actions are going to matter more than any of these words. As you walk around this weekend, I hope it's clear how committed we are to everyone's right to express themselves in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places. I've actually seen and heard many of you expressing yourself this morning.
So, what our boy here is referring to is, in fact, massive protests that have been going on outside of BlizzCon with people who are supporting Blitzchung and supporting the Hong Kong freedom movement. This is pretty great, and here you can see just a few of the examples of people who are trying to raise awareness about this issue. And there was even a group of people who were trying to get as many people as possible to wear t-shirts that they were just giving out, raising awareness about this issue. And I just gotta say, the fans of Blizzard are awesome, and they definitely are woke. Blizzard might not be as woke as they think they are, but a lot of the Blizzard fans out there, you guys are great.
You use your vacation and your family time to be here in Anaheim with us, and we are so grateful that you're here this weekend. Our best moments are here in our shared passion for Blizzard games. So once again, BlizzCon has brought us together, and today you're going to see a lot of the hard work of the Blizzard team. I am personally so proud of what we are building, and I hope you love it too. Thank you for joining us.
Now, one thing that really stands out to me about this apology is they're not actually doing any kind of retroactive action to make up for what they did. They're not unbanning Blitzchung, as far as I know, and they're not unbanning the other college students who were also banned, who also protested in support of Hong Kong. So I can see why a lot of people think that this is kind of an empty apology. They're not making any kind of actions, they're just giving us words. The words were the right words, but they're not giving us actions. It really comes off as Blizzard trying to save face. At this point, Blizzard has been pressured by all kinds of people, including developers as well as gamers and even world governments such as our own US government, which had a very rare bipartisan letter that was sent to Blizzard urging them to reverse their decision. The fact that even Republicans know that Blizzard should reverse their decision shows you how badly they need to do that, and they haven't done that. So just because they're giving us this apology doesn't really mean that anything has changed. A lot of people, however, are moving on already, and I've seen a lot of people express excitement for games that Blizzard has announced, like Diablo 4 or the World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion, or even Overwatch 2. Not so much for that last one, because the way they're releasing it is just ridiculously convoluted and comes off as kind of cheap. But people are definitely excited for another PC Diablo game. Personally, I admit it, I'm also excited for a new Diablo game, and especially when it looks so freaking metal. Yes, I watched the trailer. I said I wouldn't be supporting Blizzard or consuming anything from them until we got an apology. We got that apology. I'm still feeling pretty cold towards Blizzard. But I don't know. I'm not going to be playing Overwatch anytime soon. I'm not going to be purchasing Overwatch 2. In fact, I still have a highly critical video about Overwatch that should be coming out very shortly. But I'm not going to judge anyone who decides to go back into that game or anyone who decides to play World of Warcraft or Hearthstone. You play the games you like, and you play the games you enjoy, and that's part of this hobby. I honestly don't expect anyone to continue to boycott Blizzard, especially if they're fans of the company. But I myself am going to continue to stay away from their products, at least until we see some actual actions or until we see some greater changes from the company. We'll see what happens the next time someone decides to speak up about Hong Kong while they're playing Hearthstone, and depending upon how Blizzard reacts, that'll determine how I feel about them in the future. Because you know that more people are going to mention Hong Kong, right? Like, it's just impossible that they're not at this point. It's too big. What do you guys think? Are you going to keep playing Blizzard games? Do you think the company's shitty? Are you looking forward to Diablo 4? Answer those questions or any others you can think of down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this gaming news update, subscribe to Higher Level Gaming. We do a lot of game news, let's plays, and a lot of political videos. Those ones are the spiciest. Check them out. But whatever you do, above all else, don't forget to go play some video games and have a nice day.